Hey guys, in this video I wanted to talk a little bit about Diablo 2. I've been playing on a private server for about a week. It's a little bit modded, but for the most part it is just D2 LOD. And I just wanted to kind of go over the items and stuff like that and why this game was as good as it was many years ago. And still has a lot of replayability to this day. It's considered like one of the best action RPGs ever. It's definitely probably the most revolutionary one that ever up to this point. So, item system, you got these charms. These were scrapped from Diablo 3. They're basically different size, so small ones, medium ones, large ones, and then you have grand charms, the really big ones. They can all roll different values based on their size, and as you can see, for the most part, I'm stacked with the smallest ones, stacking life and magic find. I mostly stack magic find on this character because I wanted to do just hunt items for the most part playing it. But one issue that a lot of people had with this system was it clutters up your item system. So I'm assuming, one reason that this didn't translate over to Diablo 3 was, people had a lot of complaints about this cluttering it up, and it was an annoyance for sure. But I mean, what I would always say to people is, why not just make a separate inventory for charms? It could have been like a 4x4 square. This item system existing is better than it non-existing, right? So as you're playing, these things are dropping, you're identifying them, you're getting pumped up because you're getting fucking, life charms, or, in this case, double stack, right? You got your life and your resistances going, magic find. You can even get damage and plus skills on your charms. I don't really use any of those on this character, but other characters definitely do. You have runes. They're like gems, kind of. The gem system in Diablo 3 is basically like this stuff, right? It's very bland stuff for the most part, just like damage or magic find, resistance, some kind of defense, right? I don't remember exactly how many gems Diablo 3 has. I think it's like 4 or 5 different kinds. But you also have these runes. These things drop, and they are socketable into gear, so they all have different kind of bonuses that they give, that only they give. So like Deadly Strike or Maximum Life Resist, this is a pretty rare one. But there's many of those. And they can be socketed into gear in a specific combination, which will give you a rune ward. And this is definitely one of the most more powerful ones. So this one here gives me 300% enhanced damage, so that just sounds insane, right? And it actually is quite insane. It increases my damage by about 50% by itself. Also has many other bonuses, right? Resistances, defense, stuff like that. Life, max lightning res. You have your standard rare items, these drop, and unfortunately, unlike Diablo 3, today, rare items and blue items have a purpose and a use in Diablo 2. So, for example, you can't find a unique ring that does anything like this. It's basically a triple res with a bunch of stats. And even a blue, I know blue amulets, for example, they can roll up to like +3 to a specific skill tree. So like you have War Cries, Combat Masteries, Combat Skills on the Barbarian. I could find an amulet, a blue amulet that gives +3 to War Cries, and there's no unique or even rare amulet that can do that. So that's something interesting, and there are some builds that use those things. A +3 Warcry amulet, or you can find like a +3 helmet as well. That's blue. Then you have your unique items. A lot of them are extremely powerful for sure, and this would be one of them. This just basically has everything, a little bit of everything going on here. Very straightforward, just straight magic find gloves. Physical damage taken reduced by 14%, very tanky belt. As you can notice, a lot of these items are the stats this item has. This item basically has none of that, right? You got vitality, hit recovery, defense, replenish life, physical damage taken reduced. This has stats and resistances. This has magic find. This has damage and a bunch of other random stuff, right? I mean, for the most part, if you look at any single piece of gear, nothing looks anything like any other piece of gear. They all have just such unique stats, and well, there are absolutely items that are very similar. There's so many stats in this game that every item is basically different. Whereas, you know, items in Diablo 3, they're all almost the exact same. They're all main stat, crit chance, crit damage, attack speed, cooldown reduction rate for the most part. There's nothing that dynamic going on in the game, you know. Even just raw damage items look different. This has things scaling based on your character's level, attack rating, damage, and skills. And then you got this, which just has just a raw amount of damage, a fuckload of it. You got your socketables. These drop randomly generated. That could be, you know, imagine if Diablo 3 had jewels that were randomly generated that you could socket into gear, and you can even find rare and unique ones of these. And, you know, one like this that's blue. This is like actually insane how good it is. If I wanted to stack damage, I would definitely put this into my my Ariad's face here. So basically, what I'm, you know, I accidentally hovered over this fucking crafted item. You can craft items in this game as well, and get higher stats than anything. So it basically always rolls. This one, for example, always rolls life leech, strength, and life, and then it gets a couple extra random mods. But if I get you know, life leech, the life leeches do stack, or the strength can double stack and the life can double stack, and you can get more life leech or life or strength than you could any other way of getting it on a ring, like a rare one or a unique one. So that's really cool as well. There's just so many different stats if you just look over everything. Just, the amount of complexity in this quite aged game is, there's a lot more going on. It's quite a bit deeper than even Diablo 3, and that kind of goes to the satisfying loot hunt in this game, and that's, you're always constantly being rewarded by, you know, oh, I found this blood charm, let me identify it. It might not be good, but you will find good stuff if you keep playing, right? Or something useful, for sure. These runes, oh shit, I found a rune, you know. Is it, you know, it could be a high one, it could be one that's just useful, that a lot of people use. Unique items, rare items, there's so much stuff, and it's constantly throwing you these things as you're playing the game. Always feeling rewarded, whereas I feel like this is not ever a thing in Diablo 3. The loot system is basically almost non-existent. You're completely tied into wearing sets, and there are set items in this game, and if you notice, I'm not wearing really any. Sometimes I run this chest, and it's really good, but I don't use it for set bonuses, and it's an item made for Sorceress. This is a Sorceress set, but it just has such solid resistances and magic find that, you know, when I just want to find items, magic finding, this is one of the best, if not the best, magic find chest in the entire game overall. You know, Immortal Kings, these are actually the barbarian gloves, and they're very, very good. 20 strength and 20 dex is a lot in this game. But the sets aren't so overpowered that you're forced to wear them, and removing them completely gimps your character. So that's basically all I wanted to go over, is just kind of some of the items here in Diablo 2, and how they are so much more interesting than not just Diablo 3, but a lot of other action RPGs. Diablo 2 is quite a phenomenal game, and you know, games that have come after it have fallen short in many different ways, but more than any, I think the loot system in Diablo 2 is just so insane in comparison to almost every other action RPG. That's about it for this video, so probably rambled on for a little bit too much, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.